Everyone, I request everyone to take their seats. We are about to begin the program. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone here. Assalamu alaikum, and good morning to the colleagues and partners who have joined us from different parts of the world online. I am Zainab Naeem. I look after the program on ecological sustainability and circular economy at STPI. And on behalf of Sustainable Development Policy Institute, I extend you all a very warm welcome to the closing ceremony of Sustainability Investment Expo. Before we begin the closing ceremony, I'd like to announce the panelists and request them to please join me on the stage. So we have been joined by Mr. James McKinney, First Secretary, Canada's High Commission to Pakistan. If you can please join us on stage. Mr. Joshua Setepa, Senior Director, Strategy, Portfolio, Partnerships and Digital Division, Commonwealth Secretariat. I'd also request Dr. Abid Suleri, Executive Director, STPI, to please join us on the stage. So this was the first time STPI took an initiative to showcase what private sector CSOs and our partners are taking as initiatives in the sustainable development. This expo, that was a two-day expo that started yesterday with an inaugural ceremony, and it was inaugurated by Her Excellency Senator Sherry Rahman. And today we are here at the closing ceremony. It's a closing ceremony and also sustainability award ceremony. We'll be recognizing the best initiatives that different partners have taken under sustainable development. But before we request our speakers to give their remarks, I would like to highlight that who joined us as partners here at the Expo and who showcased their sustainability initiatives. So we were joined by Packages Group. This was their stall. They showcased the initiative of their recycling packaging and also the renewable energy initiatives they're taking. We were also joined by Tetra Pak. They also have a recycling initiative. We were joined by, from the private sector, there was Roshan Packages Limited. They also have initiatives of recycling the cartons and providing recycled packaging to different partner organizations. From the public sector, we had representation from National Disaster Risk Management Fund. That's their stall. And we all know that they are taking a lot of initiatives in terms of climate action in the country. Secondly, we were joined by Punjab Social Protection Authority. They showcased their initiatives and they're also doing a remarkable job. We are also joined by NACTA. They're also showcasing their awareness raising initiatives and what they're doing in terms of building awareness in the context of countering violent extremism in Pakistan. The stall is right near to the media wall. So apart from these stalls, we also had representation from the winners of the hackathon. So STPI also conducted a food security hackathon in collaboration with the Canadian High Commission under the CFLI fund. And 3 winning teams were represented at the hackathon stalls. I'll be sharing the initiatives in a while. We also had representation from a startup that was supported by the PFAN. Their initiative is around solar inverters and renewable energy. Also, from the CSOs, we have Human Development Foundation, and it's also their 25 years legacy that they're celebrating. They have great initiatives when it comes to social impact and community engagement, and they'll be highlighting their initiatives shortly with you. Also, SDPI is because we are working on leaving no one behind agenda. So we believe that everyone should be given a platform to voice their opinions, and especially when they're talking about climate action. So we also had a representation from OGDCL, and they are now working towards green energy transition. And also they're taking initiatives in carbon markets as well, by recognizing the fact that they have certain negative impacts that they would like to mitigate, and collaboration is the key that they would like to take forward with all the partners here. We also have a representation from a startup, MGVP. They are mostly working on soil health and on biofertilizers. Apart from that, it was not just the stalls. We had so many other activities. We had arranged different fireside chat sessions. Throughout these 2 days, we had a chat session with the private sector yesterday on sustainable consumption and production and the green jobs. And we were also joined by partners from United Nations Environment Program, and for the discussion on SCP and green jobs. Then we had fireside chat sessions on green energy transition, and also climate disaster risk financing that was supported by NDRMF, and loss and damage fund status. Apart from that, there was a chat session with HTF on climate resilient communities. We also had a chat session in which we engaged representatives from TERI, the Energy Resource Institute India, on green energy transition, and the recordings are all available on our Facebook. Really had a good discussion. It was not just on green energy transition, but on cricket match as well. So I know people here, they enjoyed it yesterday, and if you see the recording, you'll enjoy it again. Also today we had a very good session with one of the partners and sponsors of this Expo, German Development Corporation. The session was about harnessing the role of private sector in climate action. We had representatives from German Development Corporation. Mr. Florian Kahner was here, Ms. Sobia Becker, and other colleagues from the embassy, they joined, and it was a very good experience. Private sector representatives were there. We had a good question and answer session in which we discussed what should be the role of private sector, what are the gaps, and where the development partners can support us. So it was, apart from that, it was not just pavilions and fireside chat sessions. The Center for Learning and Development, SDPI, they organized certified training sessions throughout the 2 days for the participants of Expo. There were training sessions on LEAP modeling, on carbon markets, on climate and health, and so many other sessions that was led by the Center for Learning and Development at STPI. We also had publication stalls from Oxford, from Ravi, from National Books Foundation. So it was a really good activities, full of activities. 2 days were full of activities. And we did some collaboration and networking, and I hope you all, the partners here who joined us, had a good time. So before I move to the speakers, I would like our panel to learn about the exact initiatives that the private sector is taking in Pakistan. Today we have the representatives from textile industry, the representatives from leading MNCs in Pakistan, and the representatives from different startups. They have joined us. They are the ones who are taking sustainable development at next level for Pakistan, and we'd be recognizing their initiatives. So before we go to the awards, and while we wait for some others to join us as well, I would like to request the leadership of Human Development Foundation to please join me on stage. So I would request General Saab, if you can please join us and highlight the vision of Human Development Foundation. So we have with us Lieutenant General Retired Anis Ahmed Abbasi, Vice Chairman, Human Development Foundation. Please, sir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Human Development Foundation is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. And Human Development Foundation was a gift to Pakistan by Pakistani diaspora in the United States and North America. And it was gifted to Pakistan on its 50th birthday in 1997. So these 25 years has been a monumental journey for HDF. HDF mainly focuses its work on 5 areas, which is education, healthcare, economic development, sustainable environment, and social mobilization. We have a very enviable data for our work that we've done in the field of education and healthcare especially, but not trying to undermine the efforts that we made and the results that we have achieved in environment, sustainable environment, that is. And in that, our leading program is WASH, which is water, sanitation, and hygiene. And we have some very, very fine examples of doing that in our community and areas where we work. HDF is working in all 4 provinces of Pakistan, and beside that also in Azad Kashmir. And our schools, our healthcare systems, our centers of excellence are really doing a wonderful work. The area where we are going to be awarded today is the Afaf Dam that HDF has built in Son Valley. This is an example of North-South collaboration of Pakistani diaspora connecting with the people of Pakistan. And mainly this dam has been conceived by Qayyum family, and in memory of their daughter who passed away in early age. And this was inaugurated a few months ago. It's the 6th dam that HDF has built in Pakistan. And this particular dam is especially, it has a well-designed ecosystem around it, which will, I'm sure, help in sustainable environment as well as alleviation of multidimensional poverty. So this is all I could say about HDF in this brief moment. And I thank SDPI for posing their confidence and supporting us. And inshallah, we look forward to your help and support in future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We also have Mr. Bilal Anwar from National Disaster Risk Management Fund. They have also put up a very beautiful stall. So, sir, I would like to invite you here to discuss what NDRMF leading initiatives are and what you will be doing at COP28 as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, first of all, to SDPI and all the participants for providing this opportunity and setting up this beautiful environment for bringing all the development partners as well as the private sector for in a very private sector investment kind of a mode. I think this has been kind of a missing link in Pakistan for a long time. So all the congratulations to SDPI for creating that space. And what we have seen in the yesterday and today, a lot of new startups we have seen, and some of the very well-established companies who have actually done a wonderful work, and they are actually experimenting in a number of new sustainability areas, cutting their emissions, cutting their carbon footprints, water footprints, and a number of other initiatives. So it's a wonderful initiative, and I think we should thank and appreciate SDPI for this initiative. NDRMF, and thank you to many of you who have been visiting NDRMF Pavilion and collecting information. Actually, I was observing and I've seen our literature, our publications in many people's hands. So that's very gratifying, very pleasing for me at least. So what we are doing is a number of things, and NDRMF is actually kind of redefining itself and retooling itself against the emerging trends and emerging threats and emerging challenges which Pakistan is facing. You might, most of you might know, we have been in existence for last about 6 years operationally. And we have done a number of contributions in very classical disaster risk reduction, climate action, climate adaptation, mitigation, and those areas. Some of our remarkable or landmark work is some of the most vulnerable regions of Pakistan, in Gilgit-Baltistan, in KP, Balochistan, Sindh, and many other, especially Azad Kashmir and those areas. And they actually comprises of flood protection measures, early warning system, retrofitting of the building for against the seismic threats, and building the protections against the different kind of disasters. Now we are passing a phase of repurposing ourselves and rebranding ourselves. What does it mean? It basically means that we have actually made this conscious decision under the guidance and the direction of our board of directors that we have to look into the new areas and what the emerging challenges and the threats which Pakistan is facing, and align ourselves to those threats in terms of providing the assistance, the technical assistance, the financial assistance, as well as filling the knowledge gaps. So I'm not going to really go into a lot of details here, but some of the key areas where we are going to be venturing in the coming months and the years is, for example, the climate risk modeling and the disaster risk modeling, and we have built up quite an extensive data center, and which is going to be becoming operational in January, February time space. And that data center is going to be providing a very real-time probabilistic information and going to help many of you in the room in designing their interventions and implementing their projects as well. So we felt that this is a knowledge gap, this is an information gap which is in existence in the market or in the sector, and the RMF has the capacity and the capability to fill that gap. So that's one particular area where we are going to be working. We are going to be scaling up our interventions in the classical disaster risk reduction area. So we'll be working a lot more in bigger scale projects, as well as multi-dimensional, multi-thematic projects in the flood, in drought control, in watershed management, in climate agriculture and climate smart agriculture practices, and similarly all the number of other areas as well. Now, one area is our interaction, which might be the most appropriate for this gathering here today, is the kind of engagement which we are establishing with the private sector. And the one particular area we've been hearing about this a lot in the last couple of days is the carbon markets. And that's another area where we're extending our hand and support to the private sector. And we're going to be assisting them in building the carbon assets, carbon reduction assets, or the carbon credits, and bringing them to the appropriate international markets. So in this regard, we are envisaging and positioning ourselves to be a kind of a technical advisory and transitionary service body, which provide the services and the support and assistance to the private sector as well as to the public sector as well. We heard a lot about the mangrove project in Sindh, and we already actually invested into the 55,000 hectares of the mangrove plantation, and that was the NDRMF funding. So these are the few areas. COP28, we see that everyone is talking is one of the most critical COPs. Kind of knowing the history of the COPs, actually every COP has been the critical, and there's a bit of kind of a cliche there, but this COP is actually kind of a transformational movement in the history of the COPs as well. It is a make it or break it kind of a movement actually right now. So we are providing a lot of support to the Ministry of Climate Change. We have set up a dedicated national COP28 website, which are going to be launched day after tomorrow in a high-level event in Serena. Similarly, we are organizing a number of events. We just about to release a very special newsletter for the COP as well. We are going to be providing kind of a daily news bulletin from the COP based on the activities, what is happening there, and then providing the first-hand kind of information and the knowledge to the audience here as well. So if you ask me, there's a one word to describe all the activities which NDRMF doing, or kind of a, our philosophy of our transformation is about transparency. And we all know that transparency leads to the accountability, and that's what we are presenting ourselves to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And now I would like to request Aisha Aziz, Group Manager, Sustainability at Packages Group, to discuss what are the sustainability initiatives that our leading local industry is taking, specifically Packages Group, and how do you see Packages Group in next 5 years?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Zainab and SDPI, for inviting Packages Group to be a part of this great event. It's been a great experience for our team as well. We've seen so many good practices here, and I'm proud to be representing Packages Group on this platform. The initiatives that we've showcased here are one of the many that Packages Group is proud to own. We've been making paper since the 1960s out of wheat straw, which is an agricultural byproduct, and traditionally it's being burnt by the farmers, and it generates smog. But what we've done, that we've been using it in paper making, and not just the waste that was being burnt initially. Now there's a value chain associated with it. $28 billion have been invested in the economy, in the rural economy, because thousands of jobs have been created out of this whole value chain. In addition to making paper out of wheat straw, we're using it as a fuel for our biomass boiler. So more than 50% of energy needs of Packages Group in Pakistan, they're being met by renewable energy, and significant portion of that is biomass energy. So these are one of the few things that we are showcasing here. And it just doesn't stop here. So the ash that we have, as a byproduct of the biomass boiler is being utilized in paver making. And we've recently also partnered with the specialty fertilizer manufacturer to use to extract potash out of that ash. So there are continuous efforts across the group on circularity, on sustainable production and consumption. So that, we have, our slogan is 3 Ps, people, planet, and prosperity, which is aligned with Pakistan and for Packages. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aisha. So, okay, so I think now we can start with the speakers. You have heard some of the partners who are here with us, who are showcasing the initiatives. We also have Tetra Pak and RPL and others. So, but before moving to the other partners and requesting them to showcase or to discuss what their initiatives are, I would like to highlight that so STPI held a hackathon from 17th and 18th. That hackathon was again in collaboration with Canadian High Commission, and that was on food security. It was conducted at NICAT facility, and it had a support from NICAT and NESTAP, and we had almost more than 20 teams who participated, who got shortlisted. Actually, we had received registration from 100+ teams, and they came up with innovative ideas. So we had 3 winners that we'll be announcing today. But before that, we have James here from the Canadian High Commission, the Canada Fund. And he is the political secretary. And I would like to request Mr. James McKinney to give his remarks and to discuss how was the experience at NICAT and how did Canada Fund supported this entire hackathon that we conducted. Please, yes, over.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining. For me, it's a real pleasure to be here. We had, as we just said, we had the hackathon kickoff on Friday, which for us is a really unique opportunity. The Canadian High Commission here in Pakistan has had a long relationship with SDPI, and it's really their innovative ideas and suggestions that have led us to support programming over the years. In particular, the aspects of food security are cross-cutting from a regional perspective. So we were really interested to see the innovative approach that was taken for both Pakistan's food security, but questions of Afghanistan and regional trade as well. For us, being at the NICAT's National Aerospace and Technology Center was remarkable. We have already had suggestions and followed up from our trade colleagues and the commercial nexus that Canadian providers can hopefully seek to attend as well. Our High Commissioner provided remarks at the time and was very supportive of the initiative and looks forward to hearing more about the actual bids that won on the hackathon. For us, the questions of food security are linked not just to domestic trade interests as it pertains to GMO, but Pakistan's national interests and national security interests as it pertains to broader food production that can affect everyone here who's living here. I will leave it there for now. We're very thrilled to hear the Expo has gone well too. And it shows just the strength and breadth of the expertise that SDPI's entire team offers. And we're thrilled through the Canada Fund to support such initiatives. I will remind everyone that the Canada Fund is a modest fundraising tool that we use to support local initiatives. We work with civil society organizations like SDPI, and we will be doing a call for proposals in March as well, and look forward to hearing from some of you if you have any other proposals. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'd now like to ask Mr. Mohammed bin Shahzad from Tetra Pak to please discuss your initiative, please.
So a very good afternoon to everybody here, including our chief guests for the day. First of all, I like to start my conversation by thanking SDPI and appreciating their initiative on calling corporates like us, Tetra Pak, and other packages company to be in here and to showcase the good that we are doing right now. So I'll just quickly start with what Tetra Pak is and what we are doing on a larger scale. So we are a company of around 23,000 employees. We have a global presence in more than 200 plus countries. And we are selling approximately around 200 billion packs, the beverage cartons that everybody of us consumes for dairy and nectar. So way back, I mean, the legislative curves and anything that that dictates our or corporates' role in the realm of sustainability, we identified the need of having a sustainability in our entire portfolio. And for that, even in Pakistan, almost a decade ago, we entered into a partnership with a company called Green Earth Recycling. You might know about that, whereby we partnered with them, and for against that, we are recycling and collecting thousands of tons of our packaging waste and then converting it into useful, valuable raw material. So it's happening right now in our country, whereby we are recycling more than 40% of our total annual portfolio that we put in our market. So just to summarize, this thing can happen with every packaging waste that we see around us, but it requires a combined and collaborative effort of everybody in here. So we have showcased this from we are showcasing this from the last 10 years, and we are now scaling it up with like-minded partners like most of us sitting right here. And another thing I want to also highlight, which was very heartening to see in here, is that when I saw students and kids coming to my stall and knowing and learning more about the Tetra Pak cartons recycling, So it was very, very heartening that yes, now people are aware and they wanted to see the change which we can now bring for the good of all. So at last, I would like to thank SDPI, specifically Zainab, because she's running here everywhere to manage everything. So hats off and kudos to SDPI team as well. And I want to wish best of luck to everybody in here and everybody for all the future endeavors. So thank you so much.
So now I would like to request and invite the guest of honor, Mr. Joshua Setipa, Senior Director, Strategy, Portfolio Partnerships and Digital Division, Commonwealth Secretariat. Sir, you have been with us for this entire event. We had a really great fireside chat session with you yesterday on the impacts of climate change on trade. And you have heard a few stories. Some of them will be sharing their stories later on as well. So I would like to invite you for your remarks. How do you see the collaboration with public and private sector in Pakistan, and specifically from the perspective of Commonwealth Secretariat? Please, sir.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Let me also say how delighted we are that the Commonwealth Secretariat was invited to be part of this important forum. And the last 2 days have been very exciting. We've learned a lot. I've personally learned a lot about, not just about Pakistan, but also about how the rest of the Pakistani system is dealing with some of these challenges. Let me start by saying that the Commonwealth, as you all know, is a group of 56 countries representing 2.5 billion people. The largest of them has a population of just over 1.2 billion, and the smallest has a population of around 10,000 people. And the impact of climate change on all of them is equally challenging. For some, it's an existential problem because, as you know, the Pacific in particular is experiencing serious challenges that has disrupted life as they know it. Now, I had the opportunity to participate yesterday in a discussion that highlighted some of these challenges, but in particular focused on the impact of climate change on trade. And my observation on that is that, and I think the recent experience in Pakistan and how disruptive climate change related natural disasters can be on trade is a very good example. Not only does it disrupt life, but it also disrupts supply chains, it disrupts infrastructure, and therefore undermines the ability of trade to happen. Now, it is not just in Pakistan. I think we've recently been following what is happening in Panama, for example, where the Panama Canal, which, as you know, carries or facilitates around 6% of global trade, is struggling or facing challenges because of drought. On average, 1,000 ships go through the canal on a monthly basis, carrying about 400 million tons of goods. Now, because of drought, that process or the ability for to transit the canal has been seriously impacted. And now ships are facing about 6 to 8 day transit delays. That has an impact on the rest of the global trading system because of disruptions in that supply chain. But on the other hand, also, there are opportunities. From a trade perspective, there are opportunities which, in my view, Pakistan is in a very unique position to also exploit and identify areas where it can be competitive in taking advantage of some of these challenges. If you look, for example, the increasing demand for technologies that support energy transition. We've seen a big increase in investment flows in sectors which provide these technologies. And I believe that Pakistan being ahead of the curve compared to some of the developing countries that are in the Commonwealth in particular, is in a very unique position to be able to take advantage of that. Of course, there are also adjustment costs that will have to be taken into account, and there are partners like the Commonwealth Secretariat that are ready and willing to be able to provide support to Pakistan to make these adjustments. And one area which I would like to highlight, where we have been discussing with the Pakistani authorities now on how the Commonwealth can provide support, is in helping Pakistan access climate finance. Because we know this is, it's an issue that has been on the agenda for the last, I don't know how many COPs, and it will continue to be on the agenda, that there are resources that have been made available for developing countries for adjustment, adaptation and all that, but accessing those resources has almost proved impossible. So the numbers look good, billions of dollars have been pledged, but to actually access that has not been that easy. So what we have done as a Commonwealth is to provide technical assistance, where we provide advisors that sit in the ministries of finance, and their job is to craft proposals, to mobilize programs that access those resources. And we've had success in the countries that we've been active in. We recently were in Fiji, where we have over the last 2 years been able to raise over $100 million in climate finance, which will have an impact, of course, in their ability also to deal and address some of these challenges. And this is the support that we also will bring to Pakistan, to say, we'll give you this technical expertise, pay for it, and work on helping Pakistan increase its access to these resources. Because without access to these resources, no government, particularly a developing country like Pakistan, will be able to achieve this on its own. And this is by way of saying that we approach, and this is not just to Pakistan, but also to STDPI in particular, that partnerships are very important to countries in dealing with climate change and its impact. Without those partnerships, countries are not going to be able to cope. And we see our partnership, not just with the Pakistani government, but also with entities like SDPI, as being very critical in being able to continue to provide that support. And not only within the context of Pakistan, but also within the broader Commonwealth context. How can we facilitate countries in the Commonwealth to exchange experiences, to compare and be able to see how others are dealing with the same challenges which they are faced with? And if we can be able to facilitate that networking and ensure that the experiences are shared by within the Commonwealth network, then we would have gone far in terms of being able to build, mobilizing resources that would help countries to deal with this. So we see this as a very important partnership and a very important relationship, and we look forward to making sure that we continue to work with Pakistan on this journey, but also to facilitate Pakistan to be able to showcase and share some of these experiences with other countries that are much more vulnerable, that are also struggling with some of this. Of course, there's also, I think, an important point to make in that from a regional development perspective, there's also, I think, a case to be made that if you look at South Asia today, you have around Pakistan other Commonwealth countries. You've got Bangladesh, you've got Bhutan, and others that no, Bhutan is not in the Commonwealth, but you've got Bangladesh, Maldives, India that are in the Commonwealth. How do we facilitate work from a regional perspective? Because some of these challenges are not national. We need regional efforts, we need global efforts. And if we can be able to do that, then I think we'll begin to see progress in helping countries. Now, one particular point that I think, as we discuss policies, as we engage with governments, is to remember that governments don't trade. It's the private sector that trades. Now, if we are going to be able to provide support and help private sector innovate and help private sector remain competitive, we have to create a level playing field. And that is where we come in as partners of Pakistan to say, how do we continue to provide support to SMEs in particular? Because once you have a dynamic SME industry that is able to innovate, then we continue to build resilience in the economy. And I think that is where our efforts should be focused. we should continue to create products or innovations that support small farmers, for example. If next year there are floods, can we provide them with insurance that will help them recover, crop insurance for small farmers, for example? Now, all those innovations collectively, I think, will continue to strengthen and build resilience, and that is where I think our partnership will be able to be strong. So, with these few remarks, once again, thank you very much for having us, and we look forward to the rest of this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, and for such a great message for the stakeholders in Pakistan. And we are really honored to have you here with us for the Expo and for the conference. So apart from the partners who were here with their pavilions, we also had partners like US Soybean Export Council. You can see they have branded that SMD, what they're doing in terms of the soybean export. And we also had a fireside chat session with US Soybean Council yesterday on the sustainable agriculture. And they're very much keen to support the initiatives around agriculture in Pakistan, and STPI is already engaged with US Soybean Council for different projects. Also, we had a knowledge partnership with Energy Update, and we're really glad that they have been with us to discuss the different partners in the energy sector who would like to be who would like to have partnerships with STPI, and it was a very good partnership with Energy Update as well. Apart from that, I think in the packaging industry, we also had Roshan Packages. So Mr. Tayyab Ijaz, CEO Roshan Packages, is sitting here with us. So Tayyab Sahab, if you can also highlight what Roshan Packages showcased. And sorry, Rija, okay. So Ms. Rija, the marketing director at Roshan Packages Limited. Rija, if you can highlight what you have showcased in these 2 days and what Roshan Packages plans to do in the next 4 or 5 years. Over to you, Ms. Rija.
Thank you so much, Zainab. And as everyone has said, thank you so much for working so hard to make this event possible. So Roshan Packages is doing multiple things on multiple fronts. Firstly, we are moving towards solar renewable energy and working on our carbon footprint. So as a packaging company that provides flexible packaging as well as corrugation, we are hoping to provide the least carbon impact to our customers and to the consumers as well. In terms of corrugation, what we're doing is we're already using 100% recycled paper for our corrugated process, but we are moving towards setting up our own the largest recycling paper mill in Pakistan. Through that, we hope to provide our customers with trackability and traceability in terms of where the recycling is coming from. Another initiative of ours is roshpack.com. Through roshpack.com, we provide SMEs. So in terms of small restaurants, e-commerce brands, women who are working from their homes, whether they've opened their food business or they're starting their e-commerce brand, they're able to use roshpack.com to get even customized packaging for their brand with low MOQs, and that's how we're helping the SMEs. And lastly, we're working towards plastic alternatives. So we've come up with desk organizers and laptop stands that are both not only made of 100% recycled material and recyclable materials. So those are some of our initiatives that we are doing. And, you know, we're always willing to work on partnerships, and we're open to ideas, whether it's from startups or SMEs, in terms of the circular economy or recycling. So thank you so much, Zainab, again for organizing this great event. And our stall is right outside if any of you want to visit and see our products later. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rija, for sharing what Roshan Packages is doing in terms of sustainable packaging. Since circularity is now a buzzword, STPI has also taken initiatives around circular economy. We have also initiated a network on circular economy in collaboration with Go for SDGs, which is part of United Nations Environment Program. We also have delegates here. So we have different private sector companies and public sector representatives part of the network, but network on circular economy. We also have a really good and well-established network on clean energy transition, where different public-private sector stakeholders, some of them are present here today with us, and they are part of the network. And we are trying to work on improving the synergies between public and private sector. There are different subgroups of the networks established. We are working with experts, with academia, development partners, public-private sector daily to address what should be done to resolve the energy crisis in Pakistan. Also, we have different centers established at STPI. We have a center for private sector engagement. We have a center for evidence action research. We have a policy solutions lab. And we are also working on countering violent extremism, on financial inclusion, on improving how economic cooperation and development can be improved in the country. So it's a lot of work that we are doing, and that is not possible without the active engagement of our partners, of the donor organizations, of the development partners, and of the public sector and private sector representatives. So every day we are trying really hard to bring the best initiatives. Now SGPI will also be present at COP28 to showcase what Pakistan is doing in terms of climate action, climate mitigation, and what Pakistan plans to do post COP28, because that is very important to contain the momentum. It must not be till COP28, but it has to be after COP. What should be the position of Pakistan? So SDPI is directly engaged with Ministry of Climate Change and Environmental Coordination. Dr. Abid Suleri is a member of the board of Climate Change Council. And so without further ado, I would like to request Dr. Abid Suleri if he can also share his remarks and share what SDPI intends to do in terms of climate action and in terms of bringing all stakeholders on one platform for strengthening climate action in Pakistan. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Zainab. And just wanted to also inform that Minister is on way. He had been busy in a meeting with some Uzbek trade delegation, and I was just on him with him on WhatsApp, trying to confirm that at what time he will be joining us. Now, first of all, I'll start with thanking all the knowledge partners, the collaborators, the partners, especially private sector from non-profit sector, who joined hands, and they are here since yesterday for the first of its kind Expo, Sustainability Expo. This year, when we were thinking of Sustainability Expo, we were a bit double-minded whether we should go for it or not. Will it be a successful show or not? Whether there be an appetite from private sector or not? And but since yesterday, and the type of response that we got from all the partners here, that shows that not only it is quite possible, but it is extremely important. STPI has been playing an important role in bridging research policy gap. But I think with this sort of expos, we can also bridge research policy and practice gap by showcasing the best practices which are around us and that needs to be highlighted beyond their areas of influences. It's also important to have this expo because, as you would find, from tomorrow our annual development conference kicks off, and the 3 days conference, 26th Annual Sustainable Development Conference. The theme this year is Light at the End of Tunnel, a ray of hope in times of despair. And I think all the stalls around us, they are actually rays of hope in their respective fields, in their respective sectors. And it has become important now because private sector for long, climate activists, environment activists, they have been complaining that private sector is part of problem. Now private sector is part of solution. And unless and until we take private sector along, the struggle to adapt to rapidly changing climate, that would not be successful. So when we're talking of different mitigation and adaptation measures, of course, it's important to take about some of these measures which are taking place right here. But as we'll also be awarding some awards on hackathon, I will also like to add the activity that started on 17th, and it was on 17th and 18th of November when we had first of its kind hackathon on food security and agriculture. And as you will find some of the ideas which were presented here by youngsters, university students, startups around agriculture and food security, they're simply amazing. And one can only imagine that how would they be improving with this vast introduction of artificial intelligence and generative artificial intelligence. So I have no doubt that if those youngsters, they are provided little bit of support and guidance, they can do wonders for Pakistan. And I thanks James and Canadian Fund for Local Initiatives for supporting them, and our team, they would be presenting and showcasing some of their work that are doing around this field. But going forward, as Zainab asked me to also highlight about Pakistan's preparedness on COP28 and what are we going to take there. And only this afternoon, there was a meeting chaired by Prime Minister of Pakistan, the Pakistan Climate Change Council's meeting, in which Pakistan's strategy for COP28, Pakistan's positions for COP28, and different other initiatives, those were finalized. There was a rich discussion around carbon market policy as well. And I think that policy, once it's approved and enforced in itself, it would be a game changer. We would be able to, the private sector of Pakistan, the businesses of Pakistan would be able to actually trade the carbon credits to earn revenue for different sustainability initiatives that they have been taking. And inshallah, that would be again another milestone that Pakistan would be achieving in climate change discourse. For COP28, as you know, in COP27, we took a lead. Pakistan was having the presidency of G77 plus China, and we very strongly presented the case for loss and damage fund, which was actually accepted, approved. And this year, there would be again an added pressure for loss and damage fund. Now, one of the tricky issues that would be decided in COP28, whether the Secretariat for Loss and Damage Fund should be with the World Bank or it should be with the, an independent entity. I think Pakistan would be taking the position that unless and until a permanent secretariat is established, perhaps it can also be for interim period, it can be given to World Bank, but we want to see loss and damage fund materialized as soon as possible. We don't want it to get delayed due to these procedural hurdles that another 5 or 10 years are passed to decide where the secretariat should be. Similarly, who contributes to the fund and what would be the criteria to get access to that fund. That would be an important part of discussion, and hopefully our negotiators, they would be taking care of this. On top of it, we will also be working towards climate financing and just energy transition. And you might have noticed one of the stalls here, Oil and Gas Development Company Limited. OGDCL, like all other oil and gas companies around the world, is now planning to turn into a green energy company. So one of the things perhaps after COP28 would be, and I wish if managing director, is he around? He couldn't join us perhaps, but you will find that along with OGDCL, there would be a green energy company, because now the fuel is shifting from fossil fuel to green mineral. So we are talking of lithium, we are talking of nickel, we are talking of copper, and any energy company that had to stay in business would have to go beyond oil and gas. And this is also the vision of OGDCL now, and that's why they had their stall here, and they were giving presentations to the visitors of this stall about their vision. So it is heartening to see many of these initiatives taking place around us. Some of them perhaps they would be short term, some of them they may be medium to long term, some of them they are low hanging fruits, some of them they are far fetched, but this consistency of effort and this collective effort, I think that is the cliche and buzzword here. All of us, we have to bring our collective efforts on table to cope against the challenge, which is multidimensional, which impacts every aspect of our life, climate change. No single government, no single company, no single non-profit organization, no single for-profit organization can tackle the consequences of climate change. We have to work together, and today's this esteemed audience is a proof that in this challenge we are together. I'll thank Team STPI for their dedicated efforts to make these two activities possible, and I look forward to welcome all of you in the Sustainable Development Conference that is starting from tomorrow, 21st, 22nd, 23rd of November. Please join us. There are more than 200 speakers, 60 international speakers joining from 19 countries, and all of them, they would be sharing their words of wisdom in more than 30 sessions and in more than 6 plenaries. And especially the cream on pudding would be Dr. Jeffrey Sachs' dialogue in a plenary session. And I'm personally looking forward to learn from Dr. Sachs. I think it's for the first time that he would be having a dialogue with the stakeholders and the academia and youngsters in Pakistan. So Zanav, we can move towards awards, and Minister, whenever he come, he can join and he can say his words with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I understand you all are getting impatient now. So now to the Sustainability Awards. But before announcing the winners, I would like to share that the process was not something that SDPI did on its own. It was a transparent process. Sustainability Awards were announced because we wanted to highlight in different categories. So basically there were 10 to 15 categories, including climate action, circular economy, renewable energy, social impact, community engagement, and biodiversity preservation, gender equity. So under these categories, case studies were invited from different partners. It was an open call. So organizations, they applied for the award. So the criteria included that because it was a sustainability award, so they had to showcase what their initiative, if it had an impact in terms of social impact, environmental impact, and also economic impact. So based on that, when we received the case studies, we shared we selected an independent jury. So if I can request my IT team to share the jury members, respective jury members who were assigned to evaluate the case studies, please. So we had Miss Sobia Becker. Back to the previous slide, please. Previous slide, please. We have Ms. Varda Malik, CEO of Profectus. We have Ms. Sobia Becker. She's advisor to Pakistan German Climate Initiative at GIZ. We had Ms. Nargis Khan. She is the resident program director at International Republican Institute. And we also had Mr. Next, please. Next. Next, please. Mr. Ahmed Kadir, who is a public policy regulatory expert. So the 4 jury members, they were assigned and the different case studies for assessment. And after that, we had a rubric to evaluate the case studies based on the judgment we received. And so it was an independent, transparent process for sustainability awards. Now, for the awards, because we had received a quantum of nominations from different organizations. So the case studies were really appreciated by the jury. We have been joined by one of the jury member, Ms. Varda Malik. So Ms. Varda Malik, you had a chance of evaluating some of the case studies. I would like to request you to share your experience of evaluating the case studies. And also we received appreciation from some other jury members regarding the case studies that were shared with them. And they have also asked us to share those case studies in detail with them. So the winners we'll be requesting them to share the case studies and initiatives in detail with the jury members, because most of them are from the development partners. So Ms. Varda Malik, if you can please join me here on the stage and share your experience for evaluating the case studies.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for making me part of the jury. I don't know how to explain the experience of evaluation of the case studies, but I do know that I came across very, very interesting case studies. Some with large conglomerates who are doing stuff in not only just on climate change, but gender empowerment and how women are being included in decision making. Those were the most interesting case studies for me, the inclusive ones, and just not the climate bit. I think we're done to death about talking about climate in isolation, but I think some of the case studies were small scale interventions, like producing from bamboo shoots products, replacing plastics, and those were small scale. What struck me was the potential to go to scale with most of the case studies that I saw. And what do we need to take these very interesting interventions to scale? Is it just about money, capacities, how the private sector and forums like these can actually help gear efforts to scale up? All those kind of interventions is something that, I think we should be talking about more. Yeah, I'm just going to stop here. And I don't remember the categories I was specifically, but I think for me, when I was done with evaluating the case studies, for me, the most interesting part was how women can play their role in climate change space. This is how I would like to encapsulate this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'll start with the hackathon winners first. So we had two teams, two winning teams, and one team was the runner-up. So if I can request Dr. Vakar, you and Asif Javed, if you can also share the names. So it is, the first prize is Mr. Muhammad Faraz Qasim Siddiq, the Natural Fiber Company. If you're here with us. Before the award, I'd like you to please share what was the initiative.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good evening. I would like to thank the whole team of SDPI and NICAT for giving me such a chance to that I can elaborate my startup. Actually, we all have a knowledge the banana trunk can only give fruits once in his life. And after 6th or 7th month, when the fruit is harvested, the whole trunk is wasted. So we think that every month the banana is cut it down. And a huge metric ton of waste is created every month. And as a mechanical engineer, I got a research that how can we use this waste for Pakistan and empowering the local farmers, local banana farmers, that they can earn something from their waste as well. So we found a treasure in the waste banana stems in the form of strong fibers, in the form of natural liquid fertilizer. And the third thing is that in the form of organic and natural mulch. We are on board with the top export textile industry, Interloop, Sapphire, and Zaman, and also Kotri. We do an R&D and found that this banana fibers can mix with cotton to make a yarn. I have my product on the stage, but it's first ever banana fiber yarn in Pakistan. It's sustainable, it's natural, and the second initiative is that we extract a natural fertilizer from them, and Banu Mukhtar is one of the farm that's very much interested in buying our banana fiber natural fertilizer. So these are the initiatives of the natural fiber company to sustain the farmers, to empowering the local farmer community, and and also to fulfill the requirement of the whole textile industry, because from the past years Pakistan has very low cotton yield. The requirement of the total textile industry is 11 million bales to 15 million bales, and now in the past year there the yield of cotton is 7 million bales. So there is a huge demand of total textile industry, and we are on the now going to one of them to support the textile industry, because textile total worth of export is $15 billion. And just imagine that how much scalability factor in that we are going to be give to the textile industry. Thank you very much from the Natural Fiber Company.
If I can request the guests, Mr. Joshua and Mr. James and Dr. Suleri, to please hand over the award to the winning team. So the second runner-up are the 4 engineers. That's the name of their company, Malik Usman Sajid. Please give them a round of applause. You can get the award and then you can share. before Usman shares his story, I would like to announce the third runner-up, Ms. Nayab Raza, Mehreen Raza, Bhan, a sustainable food for soil. So they have joined us online. So if I can request Usman, you can share your story. They couldn't join us here because they're based in Karachi, and that's why I couldn't be here, but they're the third winning team. Please.
Thank you so much. My name is Usman. I'm representing 4 Engineers Private Limited. We have just designed the first pivot irrigation system of Pakistan, and its artificial intelligence has been incorporated in it. Already एक system हमने चोलिस्तान में लगाया है. That's the initiative of Pakistan Army, और we got an opportunity to work with HIT. उनके साथ मिलके हमने ये system चोलिस्तान desert में लगाया है. Already first जो wheat का seed है वो वहाँ पे लग चुका है और वहाँ पे फसल start हो चुकी है. So out of nowhere चोलिस्तान में जहाँ पे कुछ possible नहीं था, अभी वहाँ पे फसल लग पा रही है, और इंशाल्लाह in coming days 50 और systems हम deploy कर रहे हैं चोलिस्तान area में. So हमारा aim यही है कि पाकिस्तान में agriculture को हम promote करें और जो local industry है और indigenization है उसको promote करके अपने मुल्क की बेहतरी के लिए काम कर सकें. I thank you all.
Thank you so much. And you guys did a wonderful job, all the winning teams. So now the awards. So we have a category of social impact and community engagement. And we received very interesting case studies, but the winning case study was from Sapphire Finishing Mills Limited. And please, if you can give them a round of applause. I would like to invite Aska Abdur Rahman, Sustainability Lead, Sapphire Finishing Mills Limited, to please receive the award from Sapphire. So the name of their case study is Empowering Deaf Talent at Sapphire Finishing Mills Limited. Is she here? Okay, okay. So you are? So we have Mr. Rafe, Head of Sustainability, for the award. Rafe, if you can also receive your award and share what the case study is about for the audience.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rafe. I'm the Head of Sustainability at Sapphire Finishing Mills Limited. The case study which Zainab was talking about, that we recently hired around 300 deaf people from the Deaf Reach Foundation, and we trained everyone in our factory and developed skills for them to be able to operate a proper stitching machinery, and around 300 persons were trained for that. And we also developed a proper dictionary for them in which proper words according to the textile industry, the stitching operations were developed for them. And that is the entire case study, that we had been able to train 300 people, and they were free to, you can say, work in any other industry, or we had also the option of giving a job placement for them. So this was the entire process that we went through, because we believe that sustainability is not just about environment. It's about the people that we work with. It's about prosperity. And if we uplift the people that are working in our industry, then that is what sustainability is all about. So we need to create that social impact also. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
If I can request the guests to please hand over the awards to the winning team. Next category is climate risk insurance. And I think we all know who is doing a lot of great work in climate risk insurance. Everyone's doing, but there's somebody who is leading the game. That is National Disaster Risk Management Fund. So, Mr. Bilal Anwar, CEO, NDRMF.
Thank you very much. I don't want to take a lot of time. I think our story is just being revealed out bit by bit. Just enjoy the journey. Thank you very much.
next category is
We're all colleagues.
so next category is water conservation. And the award goes to Human Development Foundation Pakistan for their case study, Afaf Dam, Delay Action Storage Dam in Soon Valley. So I would like to request the senior management, General Saab and Mehboobul Haq Sahab and the colleague, sir, please, if you can also join us for receiving this award. Mr. Mehboobul Haq Sahab, if you can please highlight the case study, Afaf Dam, Soon Valley.
Thank you, Zainab, and thank you, STBI, for this award and recognizing our efforts. This goes a long way. This dam is actually a testimony of the North-South partnership, the Pakistani diaspora that loves to see Pakistan growing and developing. And it is one of the donors in North America, the Qayyum family, who funded this dam, and HTF was their implementing partner. And the best thing about this construction of dam is that community was involved all the way in the construction and completion of the dam. The community was empowered, and this is not the first dam that we have done. We have done it in the past in Balochistan, and this is the 6th one in the series, and we intend to go a long way in this journey. Thank you, STPI, for acknowledging this. Thank you.
So the next category is circular economy. And we had received case studies, and there was a tie between two. One is a leading MNC and the other one is a startup. And their case studies were really interesting. So I would first like to announce the startup representatives couldn't join us. So it is basically Concept Loop. It's a startup led by some youngsters, and they're doing a lot of work in terms of collecting the low-graded plastic material and recycling it into sort of construction material in the form of a brick. So they're the winners. If you can give them a round of applause. They're based in Karachi. They couldn't be here. So, but Ms. Rija, if you are here, if you can receive the award for them. Their story is Concept Loop. That's the title of the case study. And the next case study that was selected for this category is Leading Our Pet Journey. That's PepsiCo Pakistan. Their recycle bottles initiative that they're doing by establishing the infrastructure is something that was selected. And so I would like to request and invite Mr. Khurram Shah, Director Public Policy Governance at PepsiCo Pakistan. Please highlight your initiative and then receive the award.
Thank you so much for the award. We started the collection and recycling journey back in 2018. It's been fantastic 5 years. And with this intervention, I think we've done our bit in generating and encouraging a circular economy around plastic waste as well. Our aim is to reduce the inclusion of virgin PET into the system. And this is also a big thank you to all the suppliers and business partners that have been working with us in this initiative, because without them, we won't be able to collect and recycle. So thank you so much.
Next category is labor rights. And the case study that was selected is Empowering Lives Through Better Livelihoods by Unilever Pakistan. I would like to invite Mr. Najmul Hassan from Unilever Pakistan to receive the award. He's here with us? All right. I think he's not here. So the next category is gender equity, and there are 2 awards in this category. So because 2 case studies were selected. So first is the Roshni Baji by K Electric. I would like to request the representative here to please join us from K Electric. Please. So if, sir, you can give the award. Please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Roshni Baji is a great initiative from K Electric. Most of you, if you are based from Karachi, you must be knowing it, but those who are in Islamabad, this is the first time women have been empowered to join K Electric and serve the community. And we train them, and then they go into the household to give safe and tips about safe and secure environment. So that's a very important. This is the first time in Pakistan this has happened, and this is the only disco which is working on it. Thank you.
So in the category of water conservation, another case study was selected, and that is water for women. Water for Women case study is by the Coca-Cola company. So if we have the representatives from Coca-Cola, I'd like to request you to please. Sorry, designation. Okay. So Mr. Suhail, if you can also highlight what the initiative is about.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Halima and I'm from Coca-Cola. So the initiative taken by Coca-Cola is the Pani project, which is basically where reverse osmosis and ultrafiltration process is done so that we can provide water to the underprivileged areas. So right now we have 35 plants and we're hoping to increase that. And thank you so much.
If you can please give the award. So under gender equity, case study that was selected was the Nestle Bisp Rural Women Sales Program. So Ms. Atika Mir, if you can please join us and receive the award on behalf of Nestle Pakistan, and also share what the initiative is about.
Thank you, STPI, for the award. So our Rural Women's Sales Program works on the model that we train BIS beneficiaries on how to, conduct sales and how to run a business. And then we provide them with our products, and they can either sell door to door or set up shops at their homes or within the villages. We've also partnered with Ahuat in order to be able to provide the women who want to scale their businesses with interest-free loans. And we're very happy that we right now have 2,800 beneficiaries that we've trained. We're currently in Punjab and Sindh, but we're hoping to also go to Balochistan, KPK, as well as GB by 2025, with the aim to train at least 5,000 BIS beneficiaries. Thank you so much.
Under climate action and resilience, one of the really good case studies that we received was Climate to Equal, Gender Responsive Climate Action by Packages Group. They are the winners for under this category. If Aisha, you can join us and also share what the Climate to Equal initiative is about.
Thank you so much, Zainab and STPI, for choosing this initiative. But this initiative is not ours alone. I would like to acknowledge IFC and SERB for this one. Gender equality and climate action are two big, important things for Packages Group. And before this project was launched, we did not know how to connect climate action with gender equality. So this project was launched with IFC and SERB in January last year, and it's about empowering women and spreading awareness on climate action and spreading awareness on green skills in women. I mean, for us, it was just like a godsend, and we embarked on this journey with them. It's a new initiative. It's still, it's a very small initiative, but we are hoping that it is going to make a big impact. What we pledged through this program was that we will include more women in leadership. We will include women in decision-making in climate-related initiatives and programs. We will, spread awareness and impart green skills in women from traditionally non-green jobs, so that these women can transition into green jobs in the future, and our organization is future ready for our climate resilience program. For this program, what we did, so this is a department at a group level. Yeah, it's a new department. So we had an opportunity to hire more women. Out of 6 people in this department, there are 5 women, and the only male member that we have has done his master's in gender studies. In addition to this, we included women in our carbon team, in our energy team, and we've partnered with LUMS to take them through, there are about 34 women from across the group who will go through climate-related trainings in the next 1 year. So it's a smaller project, but it has a big impact. So thank you, STPI.
Thank you so much. So because we are a little over time now, so I'd be announcing the awards, and then we can showcase the case studies later on our website and socials. So the next case study that was selected under biodiversity preservation is Green Balochistan, the case study on Green Balochistan tree plantation campaign. They couldn't join us, but they're putting a lot of effort in promoting the the native species in Balochistan in the remote areas. If you can give them a round of applause. So under social impact and community engagement, we have 2 more winners. Artistic Milliners, the case study on alternative livelihood program. They're also not here, but they're doing really good work. And also PepsiCo Pakistan, the case study on developing Pakistan's youth through Amal Career Prep Fellowship. Yes, please. Mr. Khurram Shah, if you can join us for the award. Award date. Under Agri-Tech and food security, we received so many case studies, but the best ones included Smart Soil Moisture Sensors, Every Drop Matters by Nestle Pakistan Limited. Atika, if I can request you again to take your award. And Bhan, the case study on the innovative carbon biocapture solution. So they're also the runner-up team for the hackathon. They couldn't join us. So under renewable energy award category, one of the best case studies that we have is from the Mahmood Group, the case study on solar venture in textile industry. If Ms. Kekisha is here with us. Okay, I think she's not here. So these were the awards. So we are done with the awards. These case studies were selected, and we'll be showcasing these case studies on all our socials. And we wish all of you a really good luck. So there were so many applicants. They applied under the categories, and they had so many good case studies. But it was all about the independent jury and transparent evaluation. We couldn't select all, but everyone is doing some great work. Congratulations to the winners. And SDPI will be providing the platform to the organizations, startups, public-private sector to showcase and highlight their best initiatives in sustainable development. So with this, our closing plenary ends. Unfortunately, we couldn't be joined by the chief guest because of his other engagements at the ministry. So I'd now request the panelists to please, if you can align for the group photo, and also the winning partners, if they can join us for a group picture here. And also you can please, sorry, I have to announce the launch of our publication as well before the group photo. So sustainable development in unusual times, building forward better is our anthology. Please, we'd like to present it to the distinguished guests and speakers. Now, if the winning teams can join us for the group photo with the speakers on the stage, please. And the respected judges, the jury members, Ms. Varda Malik was here. If she can also join us. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Have a great day, everyone. Yeah.